Hello, and welcome to Realms Beyond. For this video, I'll be looking at the feats only, just to give you some ideas on what is available. So let's just quickly go to a character pool and just get to the feats as quickly as possible. Yeah, just click right through. Okay, here we are. So this is the list of feats that is available to at least the fighter. I'll check all race and class combinations just in case there's like a few missing. So the first thing you'll notice at the very top is that we have armor proficiencies, starting with light. There's no prerequisite, but then there is one for medium, and then heavy. So if you wear armor that you are not proficient in, you will start suffering very bad penalties to a lot of your actions, including attacking. So do not wear armor if you are not proficient in it. Either take the feat or be the right class. Some classes, like the fighter, come with all this. Blind Fight allows you to re-roll your mischance percentile. So you get to roll twice and take the better result for the mischance. Let's say an enemy has blur on them, and so there's a 20% mischance. So you would roll a D100 twice to determine if you miss. Both rolls would have to be below, or the first roll would have to miss for you to try again, and then your second roll would have to miss for you to actually miss. So definitely reduces the chance of missing from 20% down to, I believe, 4%, if I'm doing my math correctly. I don't know. You can correct me if you want. Something like that. It's drastically reduced. Anyway, we have Power Attack, which takes your base attack bonus and trades it for extra damage. But you're restricted from taking 5 footsteps. Combat Expertise. Allows you to take from your base attack bonus and add to your armor class. This is actually really good. One of the reasons why you want to be a smart fighter, so to speak, instead of, like this fighter here who can't take it. This gives you more attacks of opportunities. This is useful if you can find a way to funnel your enemies past your fighter in such a way that they will take a lot. And that way, I can get 2 extra attacks of opportunity. Because you only can make 1 per round. +1 to armor class against melee attacks. This was changed from +1 bonus to armor class against a chosen foe for every round. Instead, it's just melee attacks, so it has a restriction, but it's different. You're proficient in all exotic weapons in this version. You need point-blank shot. This is one of the archer trees. Increases range increment by 1.5. And for the thrown weapons, doubled. So, the cleave abilities. Let's go to cleave. Oh, there it is. I missed it. When you kill one creature, you can immediately do an extra attack against anyone else within reach. And you can do 5 footsteps or stuff like that. Great Cleave allows you to just keep going, because this one only gives you 1, and this lets you do more. So, at most, you might be surrounded on all 6 sides by goblins. So you attack one goblin, kill it, then you get to the next one, kill it, next one, kill it, next one, kill it, until you get all 6 goblins. So you can do 6 maximum attacks in a hexagon format for the battlefield. Great Fortitude. There's 3 feats like this. This one improves your fortitude saving throws. Then there's lightning reflexes. That is your reflex and your will for iron will. Or iron will for your will saving throws. Very useful if you have a weakness there. Toughness. Let's go to +3 to hit points. And it stacks with everything else. Then you take greater toughness. Or sorry, improved toughness. Which gives you 6, and then greater gives you 9. And this gives you a third attack with a penalty. So, 2-weapon fighting, you have to have high dex, so I can't take it. But your penalties are reduced. Normally, it's -6, -10. It's horrible. It goes down to 2 and 6, or sorry, 4 and 4, and then if you have a white weapon, it goes to 2. -2 for each attack. So if you watch my previous video, my ranger had a +3 attack bonus per attack, where it would normally be a +5 based on a base attack of 1 and strength +4. So that was calculated correctly. I just didn't... I made a mistake, actually. I should have used a 5-foot step to move, because you have to have a full round action to do multi-attacks, whether they're iterative or because of 2-weapon fighting. You can't move unless you do a 5-foot step, which is what I failed to do in that combat, so I made a mistake there. Okay. So, this just helps even more, giving you a third attack. Now, the greater weapon focus. So let's start with weapon focus first. So you have to have the proper weapon proficiencies, mostly simple, and you also have to base attack 1, and then you get +1 extra, which stacks with anything else. So you have to have that to have this. And you have to be a fighter. Only fighters can actually get greater weapon. So, if you want, let's say, a sword, this would be the one you want here. So you would need not only the right proficiencies and the focus, the proper weapon focus, you'd also need to be a fighter and level 8, and then you get another +1 bonus, which stacks with everything else, so you get +2 between the two of them. If you're human, you get an extra feat and 4 extra skill points. Improved critical is also designated between various weapon styles. Doubles your threat range. So let's say you're using a rapier. You want to take this, or this one. So your rapier would have a threat range normally of 18 to 20. So that's 18, 19, 20. Three possibilities. So you would double it to 15 to 20. So that would be 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That doubles your threat range. Which means if you roll that, you would get a crit. Of course, you have to confirm the crit in order to actually crit, but you and you do also have to hit with your original crit to actually crit too. There's a few caveats like that. You have to remember all these details. Don't worry, the game will do that for you, I'm sure. Including unarmed, which strangely you need nothing except for this. It's too bad the monk's base attack bonus doesn't climb very fast. Or at least it's not as fast as a fighter's, for example. +4 initiative. I showed this off. Or, no, I didn't. I showed regular precise shot off. But this one requires, of course, the prerequisites are understandable. A really good amount of dexterity and base attack bonus 2. Oh, 11. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, well, you get to ignore a lot. Concealment and total cover and total concealment is the only option they have. So basically, blur is nothing. Even displacement, I don't think would help you. Those are some spells, by the way, that give you concealment. Oh, right. So, improved. You get a second attack with a -5. So if you take improved and then you take greater, you could do 4 attacks. If you were just doing 2-weapon fighting. Of course, by the point you have all that, you probably already have iterative attacks too. And you get all that too. So you probably have more like 5 or 6 attacks by that point. So it's all, don't worry, it's all calculated for you. You just have to make sure you don't move in that round. You only take a 5-foot step, and make sure you've highlighted the 5-foot step toggle so that it doesn't count it as a move action the way I did. Many shot. You need the tree basically of the shooting. A rapid shot. Better do that one first. 1 extra attack with a ranged weapon. But you know, you need to use, you don't get penalized, unlike with 2-weapon fighting, but you still need your full attack action. And then many shot. This is exactly how it works. It's pretty complicated. Just read this. It's a little complicated. Basically, you get penalties. Needs to be within 6 fields, which is 6 hexes. And then you get precision damage. So if you don't have martial weapon proficiency like fighters do, you could take this and just get them all. You need dodge for this, but you get +4 bonus to your armor class when you move around. Pretty useful for certain classes that need to move around, like rogues, for example. Power attack, which is what I confused for cleave earlier. Sorry about that. Well, I didn't mean... So this is the one I mentioned that trades your base attack for your damage. Sorry about the mistake there. Swap your weapons as a free action. I demonstrated how it took your move action to switch your weapons. You can just do it for free with this. This is very useful, especially if you want to, you know, conserve your actions. This is for crossbow types. Allowing you to reload. Although I didn't seem to have any reloading. Well, actually, I did technically not. That was the first round. Okay, well, I don't know how this will function in game, but maybe it will apply. That's pretty good, actually. This one was really nice. You know, more proficiencies. You don't need a any prerequisite to get shields. So some characters, like wizards, can just take the shield proficiency. There are some shield types, like mithril shields, for example, that have no armor check penalties at all, so you may not even need this if you wear that. And they have negligible impact on your arcane spell failure, which is a thing, of course. So this could be useful, especially if you can find a shield with no arcane spell failure chance. This might be nice to have. Move, shoot, move. You can move both before and after your attack, as long as you don't use up all your movement before or afterwards. This one is same thing except for melee attacks. Pretty useful, actually. But you can't do it with wearing heavy armor. Fighters are the only ones that get tower shields, which give you +4 to your AC normally. But they also penalize your attack rolls, so you have to be careful with them. +1 shield bonus to your AC. When you are fighting defensively or using the total defense action, it becomes 2. This one is really nice for rangers and some other types that can use their dexterity instead of their strength for their attack rolls, but notably not damage rolls, so keep that in mind. Weapon focus, I already went over that. Weapon specialization is fighter only, level 4, always for everything. Prerequisite is the weapon focus that corresponds to it, and it gives you flat damage bonuses, so very useful. Weapon special, whirlwind. And this is why you want smart fighters, because as you can see, not only do you need the spring attack and the combat expertise and the dodge mobility and all of those fields all in one, but you need to be good, nice and dexterous and intelligent, and then you can get this amazing feat. You give up your regular attacks and instead make one melee attack at your full base against each opponent within reach. So if you don't like the way cleave works, then just use this. You forfeit any bonus or extra attacks granted by other feats, spells, or abilities. So you always forfeit extra attacks. But if you can hit 6 targets, let's say a wizard teleports you between all 6 opponents somehow, there's like a space there, and then you use this. You hit 6 goblins with 1 attack roll. Well, you get an attack roll for each of the goblins, that is. And so you can just kill them yourself. You don't have to depend on cleave to do that for you. Although some people might argue that cleave is still a good option, because it requires less investment. But if you like the other feats here, spring attack, combat expertise, they're all really nice. It's all about how you weigh your disadvantages and advantages. Combat expertise is really useful, for example, for a mage. So let's go back to that. For a mage or a wizard, because what are you using when you use the attack action? So if you're just shooting a crossbow, you can, maybe you don't care about actually hitting because you're about to get run over by like a group of goblins, so you're just going to do this not to hit any of them, but to put as much of your base attack bonus into your armor class as possible, so that when they try to run you over, your defenses are extremely high. Remember that halfling mage that I made earlier, 19 AC, right? Let's say you have your level 10, so you have 5 base attack bonus by that point. So you're just like, oh, I'm going to shoot this crossbow, I don't expect to hit, but I'm going to have 5 more AC, so my AC becomes 24. This is very useful in certain circumstances, when you need to buy time, and you want them to bunch up around you. That way you can use a powerful cone attack in the next round, or some other burst attack in the next round. Again, it's all about the strategies that you can come up with. These feats enable all of that. Now, most of them are combat focused. Okay. see if there's any more that are specific. By the way, that scrolling sound effects is the game and not my mouse, in case you're wondering. There's no improved turning or extra turning. Okay, so if they do have extra feats, they're based on the, they get them automatically because, yeah, they get them automatically. You don't need to worry about taking them. It's all in the feat system, basically. So, defensive roll that I later, you just get it. You don't have to worry about taking it. Still, there could be some extra feats here. Oh, spell focus, of course. So yeah, you do have to take these. You get +1 to the difficulty class for all your saving throws against spells from the School of Magic you select. This is a good one. This is a good one. Enchantment is really useful. Most enchantment requires this kind of thing, so that's just very good. Divination, not so much. Conjuration, not so much. Most of the time, you'll be summoning things, and they don't have, DC associated with them. So, necromancy, transmutations are usually buffs, so some are better than others. Illusion is pretty good. Things like Phantasmal Killer, or a Hypnotic Pattern, or Shadow Evocation, if they implement that. Oh, I hope they do, because that would make Gnome Illusionists really good if they could just use Shadow Evocations. And of course, greater spell focuses. Spell penetration. So, some monsters have spell resistance, so you need to, and you will very likely have the ability to take spell penetration. +2, because it's your caster level normally, and then you get a bonus to overcome it. And then you can take greater to get another +2. So again, it's all related. I feel like there should be more. Oh yes, this ability. When you save against AoEs, Area of Effect spells, you usually take half damage when you succeed, but this lets you succeed and take no damage. It's very useful. Yeah, I don't see anything. Yeah, it's too bad we can't do the Druid. Druid will be a very good option later on. But I think that covers all the feats, what they kind of do, what you can think about. And it looks like a very good implementation. So, thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you the next time in my next video.